Right. So hello everyone. Welcome to the episode of Connecting with Brian Laul. This is episode number 41. And for those who haven't met me before, my name is Sam Lee. I'm the founder of Connecting with Confidence, and I'll be the interviewer interviewing Brian. So how you been, Brian?
Good. Since we met last, it was good to have you with us on Thriving Past Lockdown.
Likewise, thanks for having me. I take that as a privilege. It was very professionally done. I actually like the setting, what you did. It looks like a movie in the making. It's really cool. Yeah. So yeah, Brian, tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you like to do outside of work? What's your passions? What's your hobbies? What do you like to do outside of work?
Well, as anyone can see, my hobbies hinge around the Wizard of Oz. I love the Wizard of Oz, and that's why I started an OzFunLand out here in Lemay, where people can just come in and walk down the yellow brick road and immerse yourself in the story. It's a sensory, I guess, a place.
Interesting. Yeah, actually, I just realized that you own that fun place. It's really cool. What you're doing. Yeah. So what else? Tell me what else you like to do outside of work?
Well, I guess theater and music have always been something. Well, they were hobbies, and of course, then became profession. So yeah, I can't complain, I guess.
Nice. That's good. As long as you like theatrical stuff and movies, that's really cool. So yeah, Brian, tell me a little bit about yourself. Like what does the audience don't know about you? Anything special?
Ask away and I'll answer.
Sounds good. So yeah, really about getting to know you a bit better. So yeah, the audience can know you like what you do outside of work and things like that. So so tell me a little bit about you and Rainbow Crossing. Why did you create Rainbow Crossing and who is it for and things like that?
Okay, so Rainbow Crossing was created primarily to give opportunity to those who do not otherwise get opportunity. There are lots of young people in our community out here who are capable of immense things, but they just don't have the platform, or no one's bothered to give them the opportunity. So with Rainbow Crossing, I mean, the name sort of came from my love of the Wizard of Oz. I mean, everyone knows the significance of the rainbow in the Wizard of Oz, and also from a sense of inclusion, because I was actually standing on a pedestrian crossing out in Oxford Street, which was painted for the Mardi Gras here in a rainbow. And I went, a rainbow is such an inclusive thing. And as an object, forget about its other connotations. All those colors come together to blend as one. And I think that's what we need to be as human beings. Irregardless, we need to come together to blend as one for the common community good.
Wow, that's very cool. It's very thoughtful of you. I guess, yeah, what you said nowadays is really about inclusion, right? Really getting the multiculturalism in Australia. And yeah, what you're doing is very good.
It's true, Sam. I mean, we are now a lot better than we were 20 years back. We have made steps forward. But I think those steps are made forward not because of a change in governmental policy, but because of a change in attitude at the grassroots level. And I think that's where, multiculturalism is, to me, the most used and abused word around. What we need is respect and understanding at a grassroots level, where, neighbors get together, children get together, they learn about each other's culture, they respect each other's culture. I mean, look at our first people here. We are meeting today on land that was, is, and always will be land of the first people. And in my case, I'm sitting on land of the great Dharawal people. Now, we need to learn more about their culture, because that culture has endured for tens of thousands of years. And I'm sure, it has so much of wisdom that it could pass on to us. And likewise with every other culture. So yeah, I mean, I think that's really vital. And you talk about steps forward. Yes, steps forward. I mean, I remember when I first went to book a theater in Australia. This was more than 20 years ago when I first came here. I mean, they looked at me and said, guess what? No one other than, and they didn't know how to say it, But then they said, no one of your skin color has ever booked this theater before. So I doubt you'll get it. You know, and you know, I to myself, I laughed. I was a bit shocked at first, and then I laughed the statement off. I mean, you know, let's just say that the same show that they said wouldn't work in their theater has gone on to complete 5,000 performances worldwide.
Wow, interesting, nice.
Yeah.
Very,
So
very good.
There's opportunity. It's just for people need to band together and take that opportunity.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like Australia is such a multicultural society. I guess we all need to get yourself out there, which is good. Like I like what you do. Your initiative is very inclusive of everyone, which is really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. So, what else do you like doing outside of work, Brian?
Outside of work, well, I don't look at it as work, Sam. I mean, to me, it's a day. And as much as I can pack into those 24 hours, I will pack in.
Yeah.
Work is not really work. I do what I enjoy doing. So whatever I'm doing it because I enjoy doing it. I find it meaningful, and I find that I can, you know, it is meaningful for others too. So I guess, you know, if you can balance your day that way and go, what's meaningful for me and what can I do that's meaningful for others? And I think then you've lived a good 24 hours.
Interesting. Very cool. So yeah, that's very cool. So right, Brian, tell me a bit about what did you do before when you started this initiative with Rainbow Crossing and OzFunLand? What's your background? What did you do before this?
Well, I come from a bit of a mixed background. I come from a place called Chennai, or Madras, as we call it in South India. You know, I've done various things through my life, but I come from a journalistic background, so I was a journalist there. I mean, wrote for a number of leading newspapers and magazines on a day-to-day basis. You know, traveled around interviewing greats, from political greats to the arts to, you know, so many people, you know, countless lists really. But the nice thing was that that was early in life. So apart from interviewing these people for the paper or for the magazine, I got personally a lot of knowledge from them. It gave me opportunities to ask people like Mother Teresa, to ask Muhammad Ali, to ask Rukmani Devi Arundel, you know, to ask Merce Cunningham, to ask Woody Shaw, Orion Anderson from Jethro Tull, you know, to ask them what makes them tick. And I guess you filter, as you grow, you filter all these things into your own way of life. And so I come from a journalist background. Music and theater, like I said earlier, they were hobbies. But the reason essentially we came to Australia was to pursue, my wife and I, was to pursue our love for children's theater. And that's what we did from day one of coming here. We formed our own theater group, launched The Wizard of Oz as a production, and launched a few other sort of multimedia interactive shows for kids along the way. And we're blessed, you know, our son works in the business with us here. He's toured. I mean, honestly, Sam, I've toured the length and breadth of this country. You name a little country town, we have been there. And that's why when people talk about outbound tourism, you know, I wish we could focus inward, because Australia as a country has that much to offer us internally. And if we can just see more of the country here, I think we'll all be richer people.
Very well said. That's such a great vision that you have. I'm very surprised, which is cool. So that's really cool. So Brian, tell me a little bit about social inclusion, like in terms of how do you build trust with people? Normally, I don't normally ask this question with people. How do you build trust with people? Because what I do is I help people with socializing difficulties to improve on social skills. Do you have any secrets and tips behind in order to build trust with people?
See, I think building trust comes from within. If you're not pretentious, You don't have to, it's not something that you have to consciously do. You don't have to consciously say, hey, I need to build trust with these people. Leave that to the politicians. I think with each individual, if you are what you are at any time, you have nothing to gain or lose. Yeah, if your integrity is always high, people are going to trust you, people are going to rely on you. No matter what people might say, proof of the pudding is always in the eating. So if you keep your integrity up and just do what you believe in, and I think the rest follows.
Yep. Very well said. Yeah, I guess really being about genuine self. And I spoke to Brian already, and yeah, when I spoke to Rolf, I mean, yeah, when I asked him this question, he says really about being genuinely interested in other people, which is also very cool. So yeah, how did you get to know Brian before? May I ask you?
Sorry,
Brian. Yeah, I mean, how do you know Rolf? I mean, from.
Well, we've all worked together. When I decided to form a Rainbow Crossing, I just contacted people I thought would be like-minded people, and we put together, like I said, Sam, I believe in anything at the grassroots level. I don't believe it starts up there. I believe it starts down here and then it moves upward. So a group of like-minded people, we got together and we've run a few highly successful initiatives. I mean, we brought the Multicultural Children's Festival to MacArthur. Again, I'm privileged to work with Tuat Nguyen. He's a Vietnamese refugee who started the Children's Festival in Australia with a vision that children who play together will grow up well together. And I think it's a great vision. I really consider it an absolute privilege to work with Tuat. We worked together for close to 15 years now. I'm secretary of the Children's Festival Organization of Australia. And yeah, we decided to bring this to MacArthur, highly successful. Incidentally, it's happening again this year, the end of August, the last Sunday in August at Koshikaya Park.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Very well said. I guess it's really good, like, to work with like-minded people. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, Brian, so how long have you been working for OzFunLand already?
We founded OzFunLand as a family business. So Chris Cree, my wife, Chris, my son, and myself. It's our 14th year out here. It grew. Honestly, we envisioned it as a small little thing, you know, and a business that would grow. It's grown into a really large community hub. And we're happy that in the position we are, we're able to support and sponsor various initiatives throughout the MacArthur region for a number of communities.
Wow. Very interesting and ambitious. So what?
It's not really ambitious, Sam. I think, like I said, you live each day for the day and, you know, make it full and meaningful. And everything else follows from that. People will find you, like-minded people will find you. And there's finally strength in numbers. You know, there's no point us sitting and saying, yeah, we have a council that doesn't do this, or a politician that doesn't do. And mind you, we're very blessed in MacArthur. We have a wonderful federal member in Dr. Mike Freelander. And in Campbelltown, we have a great state member in Greg Warren. Camden, again, a wonderful state member in Peter Sidgritz. So we're blessed that way. But still, I think our council sometimes lives in the dark ages when it comes to really encouraging grassroots community initiatives. They're still stuck up in hierarchical garbage, so to say. So I think then, rather than crib about all that, it's left to the individual or you know, to put everything together and to move forward together. And that's what we do at OzFunLand.
Sounds good. And I remember that looking at your credentials, you're vice president for Chamber of Commerce, right? Cumberland, is that right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So how can you tell me a little bit about that? No, it sounds interesting. I've heard of
Yeah,
Chamber.
well, I'm honored to be the vice president of the Greater Cumberland Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
It's one of the largest chambers area-wise in New South Wales.
Yep.
And really, it's a diverse, vibrant chamber.
Yep.
I think it owes a lot of its build-up to the present president, Emmanuel Selvaraj.
Yep.
Emmanuel is incidentally standing for the seat of Mitchell in the federal, so best of luck, Emmanuel. He's out there doing things, connecting people, quite a selfless person. Emmanuel does things really for the good of those around him.
Yep.
And those are the sort of people that I would gravitate toward. There's no politics, there's no selfishness. A board meeting is fun, and the end is always what can we achieve for the community. Forget about ourselves as individuals. So I really, I feel privileged that they asked me to be part of this board and this chamber, and we look to great things. We managed to put, get a few chambers together under one umbrella, and we look forward to wonderful times for our businesses together.
Interesting. I guess you're like looking at your resume, like your Facebook resume, you're doing a lot of initiatives, which is really cool. It's good of you. It's good for you. So anything else that you're doing at the moment other than Chamber of Commerce, Rainbow Crossing, any more initiatives that you're doing that the audience don't know about? Sam,
there's 24 hours in a day. And, my average day finishes at 3 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's not much more that I could pack in. But having said that, we will be traveling soon again with the Wizard of Oz show. We'll be back on the road, taking workshops and educative initiatives in the arts through the regional parts of Australia. There are wonderful and talented arts and drama teachers in country Australia. But the problem is that sometimes they don't have facilities, and your own know-how, how it is. Your own know-how gets stale if you don't have a workshop process or something, to keep yourself fresh. And it's our, I think it's our duty as performers to be able to take initiatives to country Australia. So we'll be doing that soon in the following year. COVID, sort of put a damper on a few things. We've got the Young Champions Awards, which is an initiative that we got together for in Macarthur. Warren Morrison, another close friend and chair of the 24-hour fight against cancer, and myself together with Rolf, we sort of initiated this to encourage under 19s, because often that's where there's potential, but that potential isn't nurtured or encouraged. And like anything, you don't water a plant, it dies. So I think, young people need that encouragement and that boost. And, we have over 20 categories, and, for individual, for teams, groups, but also for special needs. I'm against awards that just make special needs one category in the whole thing. So whether you're an artist, a sportsman, or, academic or whatever, and special needs. No, we have special needs under each category. So that it's separate and the child gets their due recognition. And it's, to us, I guess, many people have asked, what's the thrill? Why do you do it? What motivates you to do it, etc., etc. I think the motivation comes from seeing those children prosper and hearing their success stories because Young Champions bothered to give them a platform.
Very well said. I guess you're doing a lot of great initiatives. I'm really proud of that. It's really cool. So yeah, Brian, so that's pretty much all the questions. So the last question is, how do you get the viewers today to connect with you? Are you on social media, or what's your website so the viewers can connect with you?
I'm on social, Facebook, Brian Laul, there for anyone to see. A Rainbow Crossing, we're on Facebook as well. Good Morning Macarthur is an initiative that we started in the MacArthur region, just so that people could tell their stories. We're in the process right now of setting up a community studio here, where people can come in at any time and record their stories, or record, you know, if your neighbor's done something good, come and tell us. It needs to be acknowledged. The more good, we have enough negativity, you know, just look at your daily paper, look at your news feed every day, look at the negativity in it.
Yep.
Why don't we bathe ourselves in positivity instead? And, you know, let's band together, let's tell positive stories. And that was the reason we started Good Morning MacArthur. Yes, so I guess if you have a story to tell, link up with us. We'll soon be spreading to other LGAs. Right now we're in MacArthur, but the dream is other LGAs very, very soon.
Interesting. Wow, it would be great. I'm happy to get a interview as well and to talk about my story on Good Morning MacArthur, if there's a chance. Yeah,
I'm sure, Sam. I mean, you have a wonderful story to tell as well. And listen, I mean, you're doing. I understand, you know, hearing a bit about what you do, that you've been doing some really good work in a section, again, that's often ignored or taken for granted. Yeah. I mean, a child gets bullied for any reason whatsoever. That scar stays with them through life.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of effort to overcome that.
Yeah.
So I think you're doing a marvelous job as well, you know, just teaching people to connect despite what's happened to them in the past, or despite any trauma.
Yeah, yeah, it's very true. So that's why I'm trying to spread my message out there, hopefully to help other people that it was similar to my situation. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. Very very obliged to hear from you as well, Brian. So yeah, that's pretty much for today's interview. Did you have any more questions you want to ask me, or you want to let the viewers know?
No, Sam, I mean, we can talk for hours on initiatives that we're both, you know, commonly passionate about. But I think we'll leave it at this, and I guess do the rest in person. So all I can tell viewers is look forward to an initiative soon that Sam and Rainbow Crossing are going to be involved in together.
Sounds good. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks for your time today, Brian. So viewers, you know how to connect with Brian. He's a very genuine person. Add him on Facebook. Follow Rainbow Crossing Initiative on Facebook, and check out his website. He's a very kind and ambitious man. So thank you, Brian. I had a great time with you today, and I look forward to sending this podcast YouTube on online, and I'll let you know once it's posted.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Sam.
No worries. Always good to get ambitious people. So nice talking to you, and I'll speak to you soon, Brian.
Cheers.
Okay, cool.